It's time for Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your good buddy, Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan Harder in the hizzy, and I don't know if you know what today is, but it is September 1st. It's 901 day. We got ball and shot calling going down at the FedEx Forum, down at the Friendly Confines. We got
wrestling.
We got wrestling tonight. Dustin Starr was on yesterday telling everybody we got a concert. We got 4 concerts, but all I care about is 8 Ball and MJG coming out hard. We also have a couple beautiful food trucks that are going to be out there. I was talking to my friend T-Pay. He's going to be out there with his food truck, dropping something just awesome and delicious and unbelievably good. I tried it yesterday. It's going to be a big day in the Mid-South. Hope you get down there and check it out. But you know what? For a lot of us, it's a huge day. You know why?
Because it's your birthday.
Oh, no. Thank you very much. It is my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Also, Dave Brown. Happy birthday, Dave Brown.
Also, Zendaya.
Zendaya?
You know the very good-looking girl that is...
Paige Springnack?
That dates Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man.
Okay, see, I've never seen Spider-Man Homes. You know I don't watch those. What is he, a Marvel character?
Zendaya is, attractive enough, John, that you would be familiar with her work.
Well, if she was on the IG, I probably have seen her.
Oh, she's on the IG.
Then I probably know who she is. I just don't know the name. I'm not great with names. But the reason it's such a big day is we have the Backyard Brawl. Do you know what's going on in the Backyard Brawl today?
Football.
Well, number one, it's one of the best rivalries in college football, period. In fact, one of my friends this morning, my buddy John Crawford, sent me a text, and he was going, holy cow. He's like, I thought Ole Miss. Here's what he said. He's like, I thought Ole Miss and Mississippi State got down. I thought their rivalry was bad. We got men, women, children flipping people the bird, burning a man. It's a great story. In fact, during one of our segments today, probably after we talk it with Isaac Simpson at 11:30, I'm going to get into the history of the Backyard Brawl. But do you want to know why I'm excited about this edition of the Backyard Brawl? First and foremost, Pitt, number 17th in the country, is a 7.5-point favorite over West Virginia. Now, Pat Narduzzi, you know when he came from Michigan State, he was all about a defensive guy. Did you know that?
I did.
But you know when they became really good is when they turned into an explosive offense. They had Kenny Pickett. They had Jordan Addison. They were ball and shot calling. They won the ACC. And do you know who is replacing Kenny Two Small Hands from who's now the Pittsburgh Steelers backup quarterback behind Mitch Trubisky? Do you know who's going to replace him?
Slovis. What's his first
name? Kedon Slovis.
Keaton, that's right.
Kedon.
Oh, Kedon.
Kedon, not Keaton. That's
Michael.
I think who's
Batman.
That's oh my gosh, Michael Keaton. Oh, I was thinking wasn't he Mr. Mom or something?
Yes.
He was Mr. Mom, right? Mom. That's how I know Michael Keaton. But no, Kedon Slovis, by the way, who played where originally?
He
played at USC.
Now. Oh, I knew that. Why did I hedge my bets? I knew that.
And do you know Kedon Slovis is facing off against the quarterback that replaced him at USC?
I know this one too.
JT Daniels.
JT
Daniels in his third college program. He is now teaming back up with his former offensive coordinator, who made him a star, and that's Graham Harrell. So you have 2 former USC quarterbacks. One, Kedon Slovis, who is starting for Pitt, replacing Kenny Pickett. West Virginia has now JT Daniels, who went from USC to Georgia to now West Virginia. And JT Daniels is the guy who replaced Kedon Slovis at USC. talk about a backyard brawl, brother.
I love the Texas Tech reference you throw in there with
with Graham Harrell.
Graham Harrell being
I was
OC.
watching this morning the OU Texas Tech game where Patrick Mahomes was actually playing quarterback. Because FS1's been playing all the college football greatest games.
Oh, the greats.
Oh, my goodness. And again, people can laugh all you want. Yeah, I know the results.
It doesn't
But
matter,
do you know how
John.
fun it is just to see like Patrick Mahomes
Oh,
young and playing at Texas Tech and see him yelling at his wide receivers and doing all his little hand things that he did at the line of scrimmage?
John, you go back even earlier. I mean, I'll watch a Ken Dorsey Miami football game. I'll watch the Iceman.
Ken Dorsey.
I'll watch the Iceman, Casey Clausen, slinging
Oh,
around
you're
for
so
Tennessee.
sweet, man.
Oh,
Tennessee
man, I'll
reference.
see it all.
By the way, speaking of that, Tennessee, they play today, Ball State. Ball State, they're 35.5 point favorites. But you want to know something interesting about me? Everybody
I
knows.
got it at 33, John.
Ooh.
Not today. I got it last week at 33.5, John. So I'm playing with house money right now.
Well, listen, everybody knows everybody's favorite hooker is Hendon, right? Right?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know a lot of hookers.
I'm just saying, okay, most people.
I bet there's some upscale hookers that might be a little bit nicer than Hendon.
Well, who was the madam in New York that got in trouble? She was running a very, very nice establishment. But no, I still think everybody, especially.
What about Julia Roberts?
Pretty
Woman.
She wasn't a real hooker, though.
What?
No. I know it surprises you. Her character was a prostitute.
Oh, I see.
But the other thing is, did you know that they had to use like body doubles when they showed her legs and stuff like that? Because let's believe it, like Julia Roberts is kind of if you show anything other than her face, she's not a very attractive woman.
Wow, breaking news.
Oh, dude, she's got that. Who's the chick with the cankles that all used to always be on TV and they never show her real legs?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Goodness gracious.
I don't know.
I don't want to see any of Ellen. I can't stand that woman. My goodness. And by the way, she was so mean when her girlfriend died. You know, the lady who drove into a house?
Yeah, now she's married to Portia de Rossi. Who's
No,
very
but who's the
attractive.
girl that drove into a house?
I'll look it up.
You don't know who drove into a house?
I got to be honest, John. I do not know who drove into a house. I'm looking it up, though.
She was on TV, too.
Portia de Rossi? It's not can't be
No,
Portia de
dude.
Rossi.
The girl that drove into her house and she passed away like a week ago in California. She was a little bit crazy.
Oh, I don't know. That's
You
sad,
got me
man.
off the rails, by the way.
I'm sorry.
was
It's
talking
football time, John.
Find out her name.
I'm finding it.
Or hit me at 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Hit me at the text and listener line because guess what? Most of our text and listeners are a lot quicker than you these days, Jay.
Did they find it?
Man,
and
hash. And by the way, guess what? You got beat.
But it doesn't look like.
Thank you, sir.
But it doesn't look like she dated.
She was Ellen DeGeneres' like first wife or something. Holmes.
Well, but it didn't. See, I didn't indicate that. I'll have to take your
Put
word
Anne
for
Hesh in. Put Anne Hesh in.
Gotcha.
And Ellen DeGeneres, and you tell me that it doesn't pop up and they were all lovey-dovey.
Let's see.
Don't be playing games with me. Anyway, the whole point was.
They were lovey-dovey, John.
Told you, dude. I don't sit here and come out here and tell you BS.
They were all lovey-dovey.
But my point is I don't even know what my point was. I was talking about everybody's favorite hooker, and the next thing you know, we started talking about Julia Roberts.
Pretty
and
woman.
She needs a body double because she has a horrible figure. And again, that's not me. That's Hollywood who puts in body doubles, not me, okay?
That's right. Would you have a butt double, John?
No, man. I got a lot of nice junk in my trunk.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't need a body double.
I don't need no body double.
Anyway.
You can check me out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, sports56whbq.com.
Show us your butt, John.
Come on, tell me that thing ain't cute.
Oh, you got it up there.
Whoa, almost fell down. I got one arm.
You only got one arm.
The point is, though.
35.5, though, John.
Well, here's what I was going to tell you about the Tennessee game. Do you know what I really like about the Tennessee game? And it's not actually, you're going to laugh when I say this, it's not necessarily the game. I think one of my favorite bets is UT minus 23.5 for the first half. Ball State ranked 85th last year against the pass. They're going to come out there and throw the ball all over the yard. Butch is going to catch everything, brother. Cedric Tillman is going to catch everything, brother. Hendon Hooker, 400 yards in the first half, 6 touchdown passes. I like UT minus the 23.5 against Ball State. I think they come out. I bet you it's 48-0 at halftime. Now, Ball State might come in there and get a backdoor cover when they're playing a bunch of walk-ons in the second half and they're partying in the stands and they're playing with the band and you got Peyton Manning up there leading the Vol Navy band, whatever you call it. the band at the school. Do they have a name?
Backdoor cover.
I'm just saying it
That's
could.
terrifying.
I don't want a backdoor cover.
Especially for people that have the 33.5.
Well, I know. That's why I'm trying to explain to you. Take the minus 23.5 in the first half. They will be up by at least 35 points in the first half. Do they hold on for the entire game? I hope so.
Look, John, here's my logic. If Vanderbilt can go into Hawaii and put up 60 points, don't you think Tennessee can cover the 35.5 against Ball State?
I think they will. I think they can.
But
I'm
you just think it's not as good a bet as that first half.
I think the better bet, though, is the first half because I think Knoxville is going to be buck wild. I think they're going to go absolutely banana sandwiches. Josh Heupel's going to come out there. Hendon Hooker's going to go completely crazy. I think the first half, and plus that defense that we're worried about, like the Vol defense, if they just stay the same as last year, they're not all that great. But at least they're not going to be any worse, and we think the offense is going to be better. I think they would come out there and dominate the first half. I also I like a lot of games. In fact, I'm just so happy that we are going to be talking football all day. And you know who I'm talking with at 12 o'clock, don't you?
Evie Van Pelt.
We're going to get deep up in some Ole Miss football.
I don't usually have questions for your guest, John. I know you're probably going to ask the Luke Altmaier, Jackson Dart questions. I've got Ole Miss questions for Evie today.
I'm very proud of you. Are you wearing Ole Miss? Is that an Ole Miss shirt?
No, it's a Memphis Redbirds FedEx St. Jude Classic jersey.
Well, I mean, it could be.
You know what, John? It's an Ole Miss shirt.
It looks like an Ole Miss. It does have like the blue.
Hotty toddy.
It is blue, right? That's a navy blue.
It's purple.
It's purple, really?
It's purple and orange. FedEx colors.
Purple and orange. That's not orange.
No, it's orange.
That's red.
It's orange.
Well, listen, man, me and you in colors will not talk. Did you know that my mom almost beat up my kindergarten teacher? Because my kindergarten teacher was like, I don't know, he can count. He can play with games, but for some reason, he's just not bright enough to learn colors.
Well, maybe it's because you're colorblind.
Yeah, come on, teacher. You don't think you can learn these things out? So my mom went back there and rectified that woman.
She went up there and said, yo, teach.
She was like, yo, teach. Oh, she took me out of that school. I was at Briarcrest. She put me over in PDS, Presbyterian Day School.
Blade went to St. George's.
Yeah, I only went there like 1 year, and then I went back to like public schools. But it's okay. Blade went to St. George's.
Yeah, go Griffins.
Y'all are so bougie. You're a St. George's kid, right?
Go Griffins.
Is that what they are, the Griffs?
The Griffs.
Well, football's back, and that's what I'm happy about. And I'm going to talk football all day long, all day strong. Again, at 12 o'clock, we're going deep with Evie and Van Pelt, talking about Ole Miss. They play Troy. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be down there watching my baby girl's first game that she cheerleaded in. Very, very excited about it. Going to have to get there really early, you know what I'm saying? Going to watch the Walk of Champions. The little cheerleaders are going to be cheering. Very excited. But also, you know what I'm excited about?
What? Didn't know you were prompting me to say something. What are you excited about, John?
I'm very excited about this because I think this might be one of the best bets.
You're stealing all of my leadoff questions.
Oh, I'll get to you. I'll get to the leadoff, and I'll let you ask questions. But I have to remind you, Purdue and Penn State play today. It's going to be on Fox, by the way. And James Franklin, remember this guy? I mean,
I do.
He was expected to be like the next second coming of, well, I don't want to say Joe Paterno because, my goodness.
Well, he wasn't the one.
He was supposed to be a great football coach. Do you know what his record is the last 2 years?
What?
The last 2 seasons, my man James Franklin has gone 11-11. 11-11. That's not very good. Sean Clifford, the big red dog, I've already said he's always not that great. And a lot of people up at Penn State are already screaming for Drew Allar, and he's a 5-star freshman. I don't think he's ready to take over, but this is why I love Purdue. Do you know who their coach is, by the way?
Who? Purdue?
Purdue.
Jeff Brom.
That's right. Do you know what Jeff Brom's record is at home against the spread?
What?
8-3 against the spread as a home underdog. That's since 2018. The dogs are howling tonight, brother. I like Purdue to come out there and just beat them. Purdue did lose its top offensive and defensive star. David Bell is gone. George Karlaftis or whatever, that dude that played linebacker, baller shot calling. But they do have Aiden O'Connell. He's back for his 6th season at Purdue. He knows Jeff Brom's system. Everybody's going to be taking the Nittany Lions for some reason.
John,
James Franklin is a failure.
John, you don't go into West Lafayette on a weeknight against a Purdue dog and expect to win that game. You just don't do it.
No, you don't.
You got to take the home dog on a weeknight. That's one of my betting rules, by the way, is I love a home dog on a weeknight.
Dogs are howling tonight. I am so fired up about today. Again, we got football. We got 901 Bash going downtown. We got all kinds of great things going on. Plus, it's Dave Brown's birthday. Isn't that beautiful?
And it's Johnny Harden's birthday.
Yeah, but not many people care about that.
No, I think everybody does, John. The listening audience sure does.
I appreciate all of y'all. But I do have to say something that's very important. Do you know that the only thing I asked for my birthday was?
Tito's.
Man, you know what? I did actually ask for that. So I lied. I asked for more than one thing. Because I actually, I had a nice handle of Tito's yesterday. And it's not that nice. So I'm going to get a brand new bottle of Tito's today, $32.99 or less at any of your local liquor stores for a full handle, best vodka in the world. But I'm excited because I feel like my girlfriend started listening to me. I said, look, if you're going to get me something, there's only one place that you need to shop, woman, and that's Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. I'm telling you right now, I like their Ariat jeans. I love their Carhartt pants. I like their Wranglers. I like all their jeans. And the fall fashions, you know that you're going to have to start getting ready. Football is here. The other thing is, I like my children. I love my children. If you want to buy me something for my birthday, you can also buy something for my kids because then that makes me feel really good. So next time I see them, I already have a gift ready for them. Isn't that sweet? Go ahead and check out their kids department. And I told Chas, while you're down there at Frontier Western Store, check out their ladies' boutique. Buy something nice. We're going to have a whiteout down in Oxford this week for the Ole Miss Troy game. I said, go out and get you a nice white dress over at their ladies' boutique. I'm telling you, Frontier Western Store has all the styles, plus they have the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Head on down to Frontier Western Store or shop 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. I'm in the box. And my birthday wish is to get my voice back. Like, I really want my voice back.
I was about to say Santa, but Santa's not the birthday wish granter. Like Aladdin. Give John his voice back. Aladdin.
I dream of Genie.
I dream of Genie.
I wish she would give me my wish.
She'll give you something. John, football is back tonight. It has been taking every ounce of fiber in my being, John, to not ask you these questions before today. But we're finally here, John. Football is back, and I have to start. We already talked with Tennessee Ball State a little bit. You already kind of gave your best bet for that. Is there anything you want to add before I move on? That was my first question, is what do you like to bet in this game tonight?
On the Tennessee Ball State
But you already gave it away.
I mean, I'm definitely taking the first half of the game. I'm probably going to sprinkle a little something.
What did you say it was, 24?
Minus 23.5.
23.5.
I love the hook. I still think they're going to be up 35-0 at halftime. And again, I think Hendon Hooker, one of the most efficient quarterbacks last year in college football, well, he's going to be more efficient in his second year under Josh Heupel at Tennessee. Think about this, man. He couldn't even get it done at Virginia Tech. You know why?
Why?
Bad coaching.
Wow.
Ooh, not a terrible shot at Justin Fuente.
Kind of was, though,
John.
John.
Feels that way.
Kind of felt that way.
Well, Josh Heupel's got him rolling, and I think they roll all over Ball State. Again, I want to remind you, Ball State last year, which they think their defense is worse, was 85th in the country against passing and scoring defense. Ouch.
John, also tonight, you mentioned this one, Backyard Brawl. Pitt 7.5-point favorites right now, John. Is there any bet that stands out to you? I got one, but I want to hear what you had to say first.
Okay, I really think that this game is such a heated rivalry. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. I know they lost Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett. Well, guess what? Pat Narduzzi, being a great defensive coach, a lot of people are saying, well, he's going to go back to his roots, like back in the day when he was the D coordinator at Michigan State. No, they're not going to, because their defense is not as good as it was.
I read this morning.
Their offense is not going to be that great, and guess who's coming in there? JT Daniels already beat Keaton Slovis out. The better quarterback plays for West Virginia, and he's so excited because he's tired of sitting behind Stetson Bennett at the fourth. He's got his own job. And I think he goes out there and goes banana sandwiches. And JT Daniels plays so good this year at West Virginia. He's taken in the second round of the NFL draft.
Wow, I thought it was going to be a Heisman prediction there for a second.
No, I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy. John, I read this morning that, what's the coach? Narduzzi.
Pat Narduzzi.
He hated last year's offense. How about that?
Well, you know why? Because he's a defensive coach.
Why would? But he didn't hate it.
We won the
ACC.
ACC. We finally had a great season. But you know what? We didn't do it the way I wanted to do it. You know what that sounds like? An ex-wife.
Sour grapes.
A future ex-wife.
John, my best bet for that game is actually the under 51.5.
Ooh.
But the way you just said it makes it sound like you don't like the under 51.5.
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a very emotional game. The atmosphere is going to be great. I don't think there's going to be a clean game played. It's the first game of the year. I think this could get a little bit sloppy. What I'm saying is I could see some turnovers. I could see, a pick six. I can see dude fumbling a punt, recovered by the defense. Bam, they get another opportunity to score, put up 14. I don't know. But I'm definitely leading West Virginia in the points.
This sounds like a wild game to me, the way you just described it, John. Last but certainly not least, you mentioned this one as well. We're not even going to get to talk about Dave Clawson and the Clawfence going up against VMI tonight. But I have to ask you, John, Penn State going into West Lafayette and Purdue, John. Penn State favored by 3.5 on the road. What are the odds makers thinking, John?
The odd makers are thinking that most of the money is going to come on Penn State. For some reason, Purdue, no matter how they play, they're not looked at as a football school. Even when Joe Tiller was there and you had Drew Brees playing quarterback, people didn't give Purdue the respect that they probably deserve. But Jeff Brom, this football team, Aiden O'Connell, I think they go out there at home as a dog. They win this sucker heads up, and they make James Franklin call up Key and Peele and say, hey, can you please impersonate me for the rest of the year? I just don't want to coach this trashy football team that I've put together because I'm a bad recruiter and I'm a bad damn coach.
I love to bet, John. I got another stat for you. Just food for thought here. You ready? This is like my handicapping stats of the day. You ready? The under cashed 6 times in Penn State's last 9 games of 2021. These two teams have also combined more than 52.5 points, which is what the over-under is set at. These teams have combined for more than 52.5 points in just 2, John, of their last 12 meetings, a streak that dates back to the year 2000. How about that?
I like your stats. I like them. You know what else? I got another stat for you.
Let's hear it.
It's not really necessarily a stat, but what it is Mike Gundy, do you know that tonight if he actually beats the Chippewas, and I'm not talking about the song, where is it? I'm a Chippewa, Choctaw, and
Tim McGraw. Cherokee and Choctaw.
Wait, was it? I'm a Cherokee, Choctaw. Wait, man, how's the song go?
I gotta look it up.
She's a Chippewa.
We'll play it when we come back from the break.
I'm a Cherokee and Choctaw. Well, the Chippewas.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
I'm an Indian outlaw. Good job, man. You're really good at your net. You're better at movies than you are singing.
Thank you, John.
Central Michigan, though, I think they get slapped in the face. Spencer Sanders has been playing there since you graduated high school. They were one play away last year from winning the Big 12 title. Well, of course, it didn't happen. Spencer Sanders turned the ball over a whole lot. But I think Mike Gundy gets his 150th win, and I think they get a large cover. They win the game by 28. Oh, yeah. I'm rolling with the Okie State Sooners, brother. The Cowboy up tonight.
Isn't Mike Gundy's son the quarterback or something like that? Or the quarterback's name is Gundy? Isn't there a Gundy playing quarterback somewhere? Or maybe Gundy's just on the team doing something somewhere. You know what, John? I'll check on it.
Spencer Sanders is the quarterback.
Oh,
he's been there, remember, like since you graduated high school.
Oh, you just said that.
Yeah.
There's a Gundy somewhere, John. I'll look into it. A Gundy is playing football somewhere.
Bring back my what is it, Tim McGraw?
Indian Outlaw.
Is that the guy who made Miley Cyrus?
No, Taylor. No.
He made Taylor Swift?
No, Taylor Swift had a song called Tim McGraw. Wait, why would Tim McGraw have made?
Because
Billy Ray Cyrus made Miley Cyrus.
Oh, Billy Ray. You know what? Man, I'm not really good on my country. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. But don't worry about it because you know what? We're switching gears. It's time to talk about the Grizzlies. 901 day, the Memphis Tigers, all with Isaac Simpson. Next on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Yes, some of my ads are pretty corny. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, also known as Shell Dunn. I recently had a listener tell me he didn't like my ads. I thanked him for his opinion and sent him an analysis package of the value of his home, which probably shocked him. I believe in good service, which today is often rare. And in selling homes for so many years, I have found that I do sometimes shock people, more often with my bottom line honesty. So if you're thinking of selling your home, which is often someone's biggest investment, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. And if you don't like my ads, change the station. Oh, no. Don't do that. Keep it right here and send me a note to complain at memphisrelocate.com or call me at 483-0546 and ask for Mr. Three Putt. Thank you for listening, and go Tigers.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average garage door is made up of 1.3 millimeter aluminum panels. Something you probably do know, your neighbor likes to tinker with his dirt bike. Something you probably don't know, a runaway dirt bike can take out your garage door and a good portion of your car bumper. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Tired of living with chronic joint pain from arthritis or injury? Stop with the steroids and pain meds and don't have surgery until you check out regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
These therapies can help the body have long-term relief of your pain.
Meet Dr. Justin Garzone, Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
We use your body's own healing properties, highly concentrate them, and then use that to restore and repair the damaged tissues in your joints.
This is a cutting-edge natural solution from local medical professionals.
We have a team of medical assistants, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and physicians that are trained specifically just to do regenerative medicine.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from personal experience. Before joining the QC Kinetics team, he was an actual patient.
I am now pain-free.
You too can get lasting relief from joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Italian Tuesday, spaghetti, ravioli, Italian spinach, delicious fried catfish, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday, Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $8.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $10.95. And veggie plate, $9.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith plays Sundays 5 to 9, Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays John Williams and the A440 Band at Neil's.
Where the fat man rocks.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Outlaw, half Cherokee and Choctaw. My baby, she's a Chippewa. She's a one of a kind.
Yeah, welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. That's my buddy Jay Morgan on the other side helping us out because we were talking about the Central Michigan, the little Chippewas playing Oklahoma State, and I couldn't figure out the name, and I thought Tim McGraw was Miley Cyrus's dad. So now we've got that cleared up. That Miley Cyrus's dad is
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray. What does Billy Ray sing?
He sings the what? You know what, John? Give me a second. I'll give it for you when you get.
He wasn't very, very, very famous, was he?
No, he only
his daughter is out. Like he surpassed his fame big time.
He only had one big song, "Achy Breaky Heart."
Oh man, that's actually a horrible song. Oh, that's a horrible song. By the way, thank you to all the wonderful people out there who sent me Ann Hesh and all the nice people at the 901-360-8255, the text box that are sending me happy birthday. Don't forget, though, it's Memphis's birthday, baby. It's 901 day.
John, speaking of Memphis, this is breaking news right here. The Titans will have 3-6 Mafia at their season opener to play at halftime. Speaking of Memphis 901.
Project Pat, yo. I'm Project Pat, yo.
How about that?
One of my favorite songs is Notorious B.I.G., Project Pat, 8-Ball, MJG. They come together and they collabed on what?
I don't know.
Notes. I told you yesterday.
Oh, we talked about
They turned that into paper. You know what I'm saying?
Paper.
Yeah, that's called dollar bills, y'all. But it's time to talk with Isaac Simpson on a beautiful. It is 901 day. Isaac, how are you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm doing well, man. 901 day, man, it's always a good day here in the Bluff City.
Yes, it's even a better day because did you know that 901 day was actually named after me because it's my birthday?
Oh man, that's even crazier.
That's
man.
why we got 901.
Makes it even more special, man. It's John Harden's birthday, man. Definitely.
Mine and Dave Brown's. So it's very, very important, very important day here in the Mid-South. By the way, how are your White Sox doing, buddy?
Not well. Not well, man. It seems like Tony La Russa has been ruled out indefinitely. I kind of think that kind of fishy. I think they might have just sent him away. It's kind of ironic. He showed up to the arena. You saw him talking with GM Rick Hahn, and then all of a sudden he's gone. None of the players knew anything about it. They said they found out on the scoreboard while they were out there warming up. I got a feeling that they're just kind of sending him away because he's longtime buddies with owner Jerry Reinsdorf, and with him being a Hall of Famer and kind of the way he's viewed in baseball circles. I don't think they want to fire him. The optics of that, I think, would be they don't want to put that out there like that. So I think they're just kind of sending him away. If he's really having those kind of health problems, man, my bad. But I got a feeling that this is kind of an organization thing that they're just kind of sending him off.
Dude, he couldn't stay awake in the dugout during baseball games, which he's paid millions of dollars to coach.
All season long, he's been doing it.
My man is just taking naps over there. Maybe he has what is it when people just fall asleep and they can't help it?
Narcolepsy.
Is that the one where the lady had to tie her hair to the back of the chair so she didn't fall asleep when she was eating soup?
You know what? Maybe.
But even when he does interviews, like when you watch him do interviews, his eyes will roll back, he'll close his eyes, and so maybe he does have that because it seems like he's always falling asleep. But you can pretty much catch him every game in the dugout at some point with his eyes closed, man. You just can't have that, man. I think the game, I mean, he's a great manager back in the day, but I definitely think the game is passing by. Even when they made the hire, I was kind of saying, damn, like I don't understand what direction you're going, especially with mostly young team with a lot of young guys. I just didn't think it was a great fit, but that's Reindorf's guy, so I think that's kind of why they made the hire. But I think it's definitely time to move on, man. I got a feeling that we probably seen him manage his last game for the White Sox.
Well, they did move on from him, and guess what? Lance Lynn went out there and pitched really well last night through a 4-hit ball through 7 innings, and guess what? The White Sox got the dub over the Royals, so that was big. And I know you're a big baseball fan, and just to mention something, because Cardinals country is pretty wild, did you see how many opportunities the Reds had to beat the Cardinals last night?
Man, trust me, I know, because I had a little coin on that one, and I actually ended up, it was a parlay, and I actually ended up pulling out, gave up. I had the Cardinals on the money line, and
that was tight.
So I kind of cashed out, man. I could have cashed in on that one, man. Did the little deal or no deal thing, kind of cashed out early. But yeah, man, that was a wild game. I mean, the Reds had, I think, bases loaded 2 or 3 times, man, and couldn't get that run on, man. It was wild, man. But the Cardinals ended up pulling away. I had a feeling once I cashed out, I was like, watch the Cardinals end up doing, what was it, 13th?
The 13th inning, yeah, they ended up
got 3 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up going up 5-2, and they ended up winning the game 5-3. That was a wild one. I was definitely tuned into that one last night.
In fact, it was Albert Pujols who had a go-ahead sacrifice fly in the 13th inning, but that wouldn't have been the game winner because, of course, the Cardinals did give up 1 run in the bottom of the 13th. But yeah, the Reds had first and third 1 inning with no outs, did not score, and they had bases loaded with 1 out and did not score. I think that was in the was that in the 9th or the 10th? But last night was an absolute crazy baseball game. I love baseball. It's the months. We got all kinds of things going in, and I know you're a big baseball fan. So I just, you're just a big sports fan. I don't know if there's a sport that you don't know, Isaac.
and speaking of baseball, the run on second base thing, it's amazing how hard it seems to be to get that run in. I mean, you think you give Major League Baseball team, a guy on second, no outs, then most of the time they're going to get that guy in, and that's not the case, man. You see it over and over, man. You'll get up in the 13th inning, man, just trying to get that one run on. Nobody could get it done until the Cardinals finally broke open, and then the Reds got one. But it seems like it's a lot harder than that should be.
It is, because they don't bunt. They do not.
I know, and that's what I was saying. I was like, move the runner over to third first.
And then
like,
hit a sac fly. You know,
Yeah.
it absolutely, you're 100% right. It is, I thought it would be such a much more sure thing having that runner on second base. You got a man in scoring position, and you have no outs, but yet they still go up there and they'll strike out 2 out of 3 at bats, and then there'll be 2 outs with a runner on second, and then they'll pop the ball up to, the outfield, and it just doesn't work. But hey, if you would have bunted before you struck out the first 2 times, he'd be on third, and we might get a win. But no, baseball's been absolutely wild, and I know me and Isaac, we talk everything. Again, it is 9:01 day. Follow Isaac though at Isaac _NBA. That's at Isaac _NBA. Make sure you listen to his podcast. It's really deadgum good. At Ethos Grizzlies. Grizzlies season is starting to warm up. NBA people are starting to feel. I know most people around the country are all up in some football business. They're all ready. But this is the 901. This is Hoop City, and they like to know what's going on in the NBA. With all this stuff that's going on tonight on the television, you got a full slate of baseball. You have football finally coming back. You got the backyard brawl. UT's playing Ball State. A lot of interesting games going on tonight. It's not as boring as last Saturday was in Week 0. How many people do you think show up at the 901 Fest tonight? What is it, the 901 Brawl?
The 901
Bash. The 901 Bash.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, down at FedEx Forum. That's going to be a nice event to try to kind of kick off. We're exactly a month away from the Grizzlies' preseason opener against the Bucks, so that's going to be a fun event. But there is a lot going on, man. You know how people love college football in this area. A lot of Tennessee fans definitely here in the city that are also Grizzlies fans. And you know they're going to be at home watching that opener. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people come out, because again, this is football crazy country, SEC, and they have that Tennessee game. That's going to be a big one. So a lot of people are going to be at home tuned into that one, or at their low favorite watering hole, wherever, to watch that game. So I'm excited about that, man. Football's kicking off, man. I'm ready for that. That means basketball is right around the corner. You got baseball. Even though my White Sox probably aren't going to make the playoffs, but you got that winding down with the baseball playoffs coming up. I mean, just a lot of things going on right now, man. So it's a really exciting time to be a sports fan and to cover sports.
Hey, don't give up on your White Sox. And you know sometimes it's addition by subtraction. You take Tony La Russa out of there, all of a sudden, next thing you know, Abreu and Roberts are hitting, the pitching staff. If Lucas Giolito could figure out what the hell is wrong with him.
Man.
I mean, this guy's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and this season, it just looks like from the beginning of the season until now, he has not found it once. He looks uncomfortable on the mound. He's walking people. He's up and down in the zone. It's just weird to watch that. So I'm just saying, I'll keep a little bit of love for your White Sox, because I'm still not a believer in the Guardians, and there's no way I believe in the Twins either. I think the White Sox are the most talented. Maybe getting rid of La Russa is going to help them out, but we got to get back into basketball. We talked a little bit about this Grizzlies team. A lot of news in the NBA, especially this time of year. Are you kind of, and again, I'm not talking Grizzly stuff right now, but I'm curious, what's going to happen with Donovan Mitchell? And is R.J. Barrett going to end up staying in New York? Like that whole situation, like them extending him on his contract, it seems like it would make him harder to trade for Donovan Mitchell. So is Donovan Mitchell going to end back in Utah?
I still think before the season started, I think Donovan Mitchell's going to end up in New York. I don't think the Knicks are going to give up R.J. Barrett. I think that's a non-starter, and I'm with them. If it takes R.J. Barrett, man, that's a no-go. But I think they're going to eventually work something out. There's a lot of conjecture about a 3-team trade, possibly with them, the Jazz, and the Lakers. They're saying that Danny Ainge covered those two future Lakers picks. The Lakers might be able to swoop in and get a couple guys out of this deal from either the Knicks or the Jazz. So they need some more help out there. I mean, the funny thing about that situation, not to get off topic, is for the last few years they held on to Taylor Horton Tucker, who they act like he was Michael Jordan or something, man. There were rumored deals all over the place that they could have gotten better players for him. They wouldn't move him, and then they move him for Patrick Beverly, which I thought was really interesting, because even though, like I said, man, I think Bev is, we talked about this, I think, last week, is a guy that help you, especially on the defensive end, as far as a guy that can get under the other team's skin. As far as that, he's a really good player, but I just don't know how much he moves the needle for them. I think they need wings more than they need a backup point guard. You also have the situation where him and Russell Westbrook don't get along, even though the reports have said they've talked and everything's okay. We'll see how long that lasts once they get in those practices. I would pay to be a fly on the wall in there. But I think Donovan Mitchell lands in New York some way, somehow. But I don't think R.J. Barrett's going to be involved. I see some of the deals that New York offered Utah, and they said they turned those down, which is crazy. But I think they're going to see that they know that they have to move him. I don't think he's going to be happy there. In rebuild, he wasn't even happy there when they had their full team, so he's not going to be happy there now. I think they're going to realize that they're going to see New York's going to put a package on the table, and they're going to end up pulling the trigger on that.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to have to realize that Utah is that not every team out there that you're dealing with is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
No, you're not going to get a Rudy Gobert haul for everybody. That's crazy, man. I think they broke the NBA. But I think that trade specifically right there might be one of the reasons why Kevin Durant's still in Brooklyn. Because I think people look at that trade like, man, you're getting that for Rudy Gobert. What is KD going to offer? And I think that's got a lot of teams kind of out of their mind with what to accept, because that deal that rumored deal that New York offered him, I can't remember, was Obi Toppin. Can't remember, like 4 or 5 first-round draft picks.
Yep.
A really good deal. They said Utah turned it down. And for Donovan Mitchell, I like Donovan Mitchell, but he's not the type of player that you just tear your franchise down for. You give up all the assets. That was a great deal for Utah, and they turned it down. But I got a feeling they're going to kind of back off there once we get closer and closer to the season. Yeah,
they're going to have to come out of that fog, that elation from when they were blowing fireworks and celebrating the fact that they got so much from Rudy Gobert and come back to earth. I mean, Spider-Man's going to get you a lot, but check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, staying in basketball, because I am going to talk a little contract, some stuff that happened in the NFL, of course. We saw what Russell Wilson got. But I wanted to stick with basketball for a second longer, talk more local. Danny Green, after 3.5 months from having his ACL and his LCL in his left knee, having like a tear and surgery, did I hear that he's back on the court putting up shots?
Yeah, there was a video that was posted tonight. He's out putting up shots, shooting threes. He wasn't running or doing anything, putting up any contact, but he was putting up shots. From all indications, his rehab has gone really well. And when the Grizzlies kind of got him in that deal when they traded DeAnthony Melton, you were thinking, that was just a salary match thing. They're probably going to release him or try to move him on to the deal later on. But the more that when you talk to people and you see what's going on, the first indicator to me is when he showed up to Summer League. He was out there on the sideline with Taylor Jenkins and Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks and Josh sitting over there on the sideline. And even when he first made the deal, he was on a podcast, and he said that he's happy, like he wants to be a part of this. And that's a difference that you see how much this franchise has changed. Because you go back to a similar deal with Iguodala, and he immediately said that he wanted nothing to do with this. But now this is a different situation. This Grizzly team, you have a superstar player in John Morant. The culture that they built here, the culture of winning, and a team that could possibly compete for a championship. I think it's a great situation for a veteran guy, especially a guy that's coming off injury. But I think with that injury, and you kind of look at the timeline, I think it would probably be sometime in February, probably at the earliest, before he could get back. But if they want to hang on to him and don't use him as a trade piece, I think he could be really valuable. Because I've said for the last couple of years that this team probably needed a veteran in that locker room, and they really haven't had that guy. And I think Danny Green's a guy who's won championships, a guy that has a lot to offer. I think he could be really valuable for this team on the sideline as extra coach. And then when it comes February and March, he can get back. He's a guy that can come in and knock down threes for you. He hit over 100 threes last year. People talk about his decline, but he was still knocking down shots, and that's always valuable. Anytime you got a guy that can knock down shots like that for you in the playoffs, man, he could really help. So he could be a piece that helps this team down the line in the playoffs later into the second half of the season. We'll see how it plays out, but I'm actually glad that he's here, and I'm hoping they hold on to him.
And the Grizzlies team last year, who, of course, lost in the playoffs to the Golden State Warriors, had the second-best record in the West, had an amazing season. Well, that team did get a little bit younger, if you haven't noticed, and or a lot younger, you would say, and they're already a young team. I think having a vet like that would be huge. Wanted to ask you, though, this is kind of weird. When we were young, ACL, MCL, LCL, you do something to your knee, and it was basically over. Now these people now you got these athletes and these young men coming back like it's crazy good and really easy. Are you like Jaren Jackson Jr., his foot injury, like the stress fracture, the fact that they had to repair his foot? What is more scary today? Is it more of an issue of having like a foot injury, or what used to be like the end of it all, the ACL, the MCL, and the LCL?
Man, you talk about ACL and things like that in football. They get, especially linemen, they come back even quicker than basketball players do. They don't even miss hardly any time. A lot of times, the guys out their ACL, they'll be back in a matter of months. But I think anytime you have a foot injury like that for a big man, it's not a good thing. I mean, we saw Yao Ming back in the day kind of struggle with that situation, was never really able to get fully back. When you talk about a guy that's 7 foot, that's never a good thing to have, especially when you talk about those kind of mid-bone fractures. It's not a good thing at all. And I'm hoping Jaren, because before people have started to kind of call him injury-prone, and I kind of push back on that because the injuries that he's had, they're not really part of the same thing. He had a knee injury. This is kind of something different. And I'm, like I said, with the Grizzlies, you hear they're saying the right things. They're saying that everything's going great. Darren's saying everything's going great. With the Grizzlies, I always operate on the side of caution and don't jump to conclusions when it comes to injuries, because a lot of times it seems like guys are on their way back, and then you find out they're really not. Because when you talk about that knee injury that Jaren had, that whole offseason, he was talking about, oh, man, I'll be ready to go in camp. They were saying it's going to be a month. And he was like, even when in his preseason interview, he was saying, man, like, I can play right now. And the next thing you know, he doesn't play until May or to March, So, you just never know with these injuries. And I think that's going to be the big key for the Grizzlies this year. There are a lot of people that are optimistic that think he's going to play early in the season. I would be surprised if you see him before Christmas. That's kind of where I'm at on it. And I think that's going to be the key for them this season. How quickly can he get back, and how quickly can he get back to being himself? Because they're going to need him. I mean, he's the anchor of that defense. And he makes a major impact on the team when he's on off the floor. So that injury is definitely a concern, man. That's not something maybe if you were talking about a guard or forward, a smaller player, that you might not be concerned about it. But anytime you have a guy that's 7 foot that has a broken bone injury, that's not a good thing, not something that you want to see.
All right, I don't have much time, but I really got to ask you this question because I know you're high on Seth Hennigan. Is this a guy that, could come back in his sophomore year, have an amazing year, could end up being somebody like a McKenzie Milton, a Desmond Ritter? Could he ended up turning into, like, I know it's probably the last year of this iteration of the American, but could he be one of those non-Power 5 quarterbacks who everybody starts to take notice of?
I definitely think so. And I tweeted about that earlier when he did an interview over the summer where he kind of talked about last year. There were times where him coming in as a freshman, he was kind of nervous. But there were times where he felt like he could have ran more, but really didn't want to go full bore because he was kind of tentative a little bit. And if he played that well as he played last year, and he was tentative, I can't imagine you unleash him what he's going to look like this year. I think he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think people are sleeping on him, even in the American. You look at some of these quarterback lists, and they have him like the third, fourth best quarterback in the conference, and that's crazy to me. I think he's going to have a big-time year because a guy that showed the kind of poise that he showed last year as a true freshman, man. I mean, you just don't see guys step in and quarterback like that, especially this guy wasn't even expected to play going into game one, and all of a sudden he gets named the starter, and he's going to start all year. And to put up the kind of numbers that he put up, man, I think it's amazing. I think he's poised for a big-time sophomore year, man. I'm really, really excited about watching him this season.
Man, I'm stoked about everything. It's 901 day. We got football coming up, Mississippi State and the Tigers. All kinds of things are going on. Isaac, I know you're dropping something soon. Tell the people what's coming down the pike.
Yeah, man, for sure. On the Ethos Grizzlies podcast, man, we're going to be coming out with our season preview, making award predictions, stuff like that, record predictions for the Grizzlies. That's definitely going to be dropping soon. So make sure you check out that. Be on the lookout for that at Ethos Grizzlies. You can also follow me at Isaac_NBA.
Hey, man, thanks for your time, Isaac. Be blessed out there and enjoy the 901 day. All right, brother?
Will do, man. Talk to you next week.
That's Isaac Simpson. We're late for a break. We're back in 2 shakes. This is Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tiger fans, football season is here, and we want you to catch all the action. For as low as $99, you can see all 7 home games as your Tigers continue the bowl streak and welcome foes such as Arkansas State, UCF, and Houston to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. For tickets, visit GoTigersGoTix.com or call 901-678-2331 today. Go Tigers Go!
Our long national nightmare is over. It's finally time for football, and there's no better place to catch a game downtown than at Memphis's perfect neighborhood bar, Bell Tavern. Tucked into the alley behind 117 Prime, Bell Tavern was a well-kept secret for a long time. But now the secret is out. Bell Tavern is the perfect place to watch a game. Not too big, not too small, not too bright, not too dark. Ice-cold beer, delicious cocktails, the friendliest bar staff in town, all wrapped up in a cozy bar you'll never want to leave. It's Bell Tavern. Now you're in on the secret.
What's better than the long weekend? Kohl's budget-boosting deals on denim. I got myself jeans for $19.99, 40% off Levi's for my son. Even my husband found a pair for 30% off. Plus, because I spent over $25, I got $10 off. And earned Kohl's cash. More style, more savings. Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end September 5th. Levi's coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. It's been a particularly rainy season, and that stain on your ceiling isn't getting any smaller, exposing your family to the possibility of mold. Let me come take a look. 867-0303. Our technicians are Owens Corning Platinum Preferred, so don't let someone tell you that it has to be replaced if all you need is a repair to get several more years of life. 867-0303. Have me on your speed dial for when life's little catastrophes come up. 867-0303. Upgrade your roof to a beautiful Owens Corning Duration Architectural Shingle with a 50-year warranty and an unheard of 25-year labor guarantee. I'll measure your roof from outer space and give you a competitive estimate right over the phone. Buy now and pay nothing till 2022 with approved credit. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan. I'm so fired up because it's 901 day. We got a bash going down downtown. We got bands, juking. Do you know what a juke off is? Oh, that's where they have a dance off, brother. It's like
you do the Oklahoma drill and you make one move. You usually juke the defender and then you get by him.
But that's how they don't do it because now it's dancing.
That way.
I think it's more like hardcore dancing.
I don't think they do the Oklahoma drill anymore either.
Well, they don't allow you to do it, but man, there's still coaches out there who get it done. You know what I'm saying, man? But anyway, football is back. 901 days in full effect. On the other side, we're going to be talking with Evie Van Pelt. I'm so excited because we're going to be talking Ole Miss. Don't know if Jay knows this, but did you know they released the depth chart?
Don't tell me Dart is the starter.
Nope, your boy Luke Altmaier is the number one quarterback. We're going to talk about Luke Altmaier. We'll talk about Jackson Dart. We'll talk about the game at Troy, what's going on with the Ole Miss Rebels. We'll definitely bring up the punter and Lane Kiffin. I'm fired on the other side to talk about the Ole Miss Rebels. But real quick, did you see what Russell Wilson just got?
Yeah, crazy.
Not really that crazy, I guess. It's $165 million guaranteed. And the reason I say it might not be that crazy, the quarterbacks before him since Peyton Manning averaged together only 19 passing touchdowns a season. Russell Wilson has averaged 33 touchdowns a season. Do you want to know something also that kind of took me aback? Russell Wilson, through his first 10 years in the National Football League, is only second to Peyton Manning in touchdown passes through his first 10 seasons. Peyton Manning 1, Russell Wilson 2. Do you know who number 3 is?
Who?
Dan Marino.
Oh,
he has 290. Russell Wilson has 292 through his first 2 seasons. And then, of course, Peyton Manning, the great one, 304 through his first 10 seasons.
How about winning the Super Bowl, though, Danny?
Hey. Dan's done, and he also had the Isotoner glove commercial, bro. And, he did go to a Super Bowl in his first year. And, by the way, Miami hadn't had a quarterback since Dan Marino, buddy.
Well, they got one now. He also, John, is in the music video for Hootie and the Blowfish.
He also, Dan Marino?
Yeah.
He was also Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Remember Dan Marino? It was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, when everybody was dating the former kicker who laces out. Can you believe that stuff?
Crazy.
Yeah, and I still can't believe Dan Marino made out with Einhorn and Finkel at the same time. But we are talking Ole Miss football on the other side. But I did want to remind you that I love to eat food. It's 12 o'clock. Is your tummy growling? How about you go over to Central Barbecue? They got 4 locations, downtown Central, Summer, and the new one out here on Poplar. Or if you maybe out of town and you're listening to on the YouTube or the Facebook, the Twitch, or at sports56whbq.com, don't freak out and be sad because you're out of town. You can go to eatcbq.com and you can have them ship you that barbecue anywhere around the world, baby. Central Barbecue, where smoke is their sauce, where their turnip greens are out of control, where their wings are perfect. The dry spice rub is my favorite. The pulled chicken, oh my goodness. Their barbecue nachos. Unless you are bigger than Gabe Kuhn, you should only get a half a order, unless you want to share it with a family of 8. A half a order of their barbecue nachos will make you full all day long, all day strong. Central Barbecue, it really is simply the best. On the other side, our girl from Ole Miss, Evie Van Pelt. Football is here, man. It's September. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The lunatic is in my head.
The summer clearance sale is happening now at Family Leisure. You can get up to $2,000 off on a swimming pool. Yes, you heard me. $2,000 off on swimming pools. Get it installed in 2022. You'll be ready for summer 2023. Plus, if you are more of a do-it-yourselfer, Family Leisure has specials that are just too good to pass up, with free ladder upgrades and a whole season worth of chemicals. No one else can offer that kind of deal. Looking for patio furniture? In-stock sets are up to 30% off. Play gyms and trampolines, you can get up to $1,000 off with free installation. We don't know how long these hot temperatures will last, but we do know these prices will not. So take advantage of the summer clearance sale that's happening right now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Wooden Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous.
John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of O Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies, that's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
What I would tell people is that you don't have to be in pain anymore.
Meet Dr. Justin Garzone, Medical Director at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in using advanced regenerative medicine to give people lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
What's exciting is that I get to see patients with our treatments actually get better.
Have you discovered regenerative medicine? It's an all-natural way to use the power of your own body to restore and repair damaged tissue.
We're using things that are already in your body, and we're simply concentrating them and then put it in an area of your body that you're having the pain so that your body can start the regenerative process, the healing process.
For pain in your knees, hips, back, shoulders, don't assume the old treatments are the only treatments. Avoid drugs and surgery and get lasting relief. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
What's better than the long weekend? Kohl's budget-boosting deals on denim. I got myself jeans for $19.99. 40% off Levi's for my son. Even my husband found a pair for 30% off. Plus, because I spent over $25, I got $10 off. And earned Kohl's cash. More style, more savings. Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end September 5th. Levi's coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan Harder in the house hanging out with me all day long, all day strong. Big thanks to Isaac Simpson who joined me in the first hour. We talked everything from the White Sox and Tony La Russa bouncing to Seth Hennigan going to be a baller shot caller for the Tigers. But I'm excited. I'm not just excited because I'll be in Oxford this week because I'm going to be watching my baby girl cheer in her first football game ever, But I'm excited to just see what the Rebels got. They're playing Troy. Beautiful afternoon game. And we're talking with Evie Van Pelt. You know, she's the founder and publisher of the Rebel Walk. We're going to talk with her every single Thursday at noon. And they have now released their depth chart. That's right. It's come out. A lot of people have been wondering, Jackson Dart, Luke Altmyer, who's it going to be? Well, we're going to discuss that. But I need to remind you something very important. Are you ready for college football? Well, FanDuel wants you to be ready for game day when college football kicks off this week. Right now, new customers can get $150 in free bets guaranteed for week one. Just place a $5 bet, and you can get $150 in free bets whether you win or lose. Bet college football the way you like it. Do you like jumping in on the action when it's live? They got you covered. Do you love big promotions like Odd Boost? They have you covered. They have same-game parlays to increase your odds. But today, take the UT Vols at home against Ball State, minus 23.5 in the first half, and just thank me all the way to the bank. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. The app is easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds. And when you win, you get paid fast. See for yourself, why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today and sign up with the promo code HAPPY. Remember that, promo code HAPPY. Place a $5 bet. Get $150 in free bets guaranteed to kick off the college football season. Again, the promo code is HAPPY. And remember, you must be 21 and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days after you receive them. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. Well, it's time to talk with my friend Evie Van Pelt. Evie, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. First of all, happy. I love that promo code. That's for FanDuel. I love that. And happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Evie. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. And I got to say thank you to all the wonderful people out there who've been texting me, hit me up on the Twitter. Y'all make me feel like I'm actually kind of special. But Evie...
You are.
Oh, thank you. I love you. But, baby, you're my special person down in Ole Miss. Again, you published the Rebel Walk. Everybody should be out there right now following Evie herself at Ole Miss Evie. But make sure you follow the Rebel Walk. It's at the Rebel Walk on Twitter. They do all things Ole Miss. And this week, it's Troy. I don't think there's a lot of people in Ole Miss that are thinking anything other than a big, big party. But they have been thinking and talking all off season about Jackson Dart, Luke Altmyer. They came out with the depth charts. Looked like Luke took this bad boy over. How did he take the starting job? And did you see anything that just maybe stood out on what maybe like why Lane Kiffin chose to go with Luke?
Well, I'm not so sure yet. I mean, I know he's listed first on the depth chart, but it's Luke Altmyer or Jackson Dart.
Oh,
that's what's
hold up.
On the depth. Yeah, that's what's
really.
On the depth chart. Yes. There's the little OR off to the side there. So I don't think it's quite over with yet. I know yesterday on the SEC coaches weekly teleconference, Coach Kiffin was asked, are you just withholding this, because you don't want Troy to know and be able to scheme a little better, or do you really not know? And he said, I'm not withholding this. They're very similar. They're both pocket passers. He even said they pretty much run the same offense regardless of which one of them is in there. So I think it's a legit conundrum right now. So I'm not sure that it's settled.
Oh my goodness! I'm so glad that you you clarified that, because I had a few people texting me, "Hey John, did you see Luke Altmyer is going to be the starting quarterback for Ole Miss?" Blah 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 blah.
Well,
I did
see.
see.
He may well be. But the only thing I'm going by, as of right now until 3:00 Saturday is the depth chart, and there is that or. So maybe they know something. They may know something I don't know.
How big of a chance, though? How big of a chance is there that both of the guys play against Troy? And do you think it's not going to be just like, hey, if the Rebels hop out, whoever starts the game, they get a big lead on Troy, bring them in? Could you see early especially in the first half. Could you see the quarterbacks rotating?
It's funny. At this point, not right now. I don't think that, and I only say that because Kiffin has been. It's a really good question, and Coach Kiffin has been asked that a number of times. Would he consider going with, 2? Would he rotate him? And he said that is not my preference. So, that kind of leaves the door open. Yeah, I think probably as many times as you have those guys out there scrimmaging, at the end of the day, they've just been going against each other, their own service team. So, he may want to get a really good look at how his starter does with the team against a real opponent. And it's so hard to tell. I mean, if we got up by 40. I mean, it's just hard to know. He could do that, or he could rotate him. But as of right now, all we know is he said he prefers not to go with 2.
Well, I love talking offense, and we're going to talk a little bit more going forward. But I think the biggest question marks right now, and it feels like this every year. And last year everybody loved Matt Corral. We all had just so much trust in what the offense was going to bring us. DJ Durkin did an amazing job with that defense. Lane Kiffin, I think, also helped him out. Talk about, look where we struggled. What do you expect that's going to be different about this year's defense, not just the whole situation with the coach?
I think one thing that really stands out to me is the depth on the defensive line. I think that, really and truly from what I've heard, they've got maybe 10 or 11 guys that can go in and out. So I think you're going to see, I think in years past, it's been a little harder. We've had to rely on the linebackers and the back end and the secondary because maybe our defensive line wasn't quite as strong. Now, Sam Williams notwithstanding, I mean, obviously Sam was very, very strong and is doing well in Dallas with the Cowboys. But I just think this year, overall, the depth of that defensive line, I think adding J.J. Pegues in, transfer from Auburn, who's actually from Oxford, has made a big deal. I think he's one of the starting defensive tackles. Cedric Johnson is really ready to step up. Katie Hill at nose tackle. Katie, I'm sure you probably saw the video yesterday of Katie was named Chucky Mullins winner, and they had Ole Miss Football released a video of him calling his mom to tell her. And every time I watch it, I am.
Did you? Oh, that's when you were tearing up yesterday?
Yes.
Oh
my gosh. He told his mama he was gonna wear that, number with pride, and I got it, Mama, and I'm gonna keep working hard. I know that's not the end yet. But anyway, it's just really special. Obviously meant a lot to him.
Man, that is so sweet. And by the way, when you're in the SEC, and again, that is a tearjerker. KD Hill, congratulations. But you talked about JJ, who's coming over. He's going to help, fill and run stuff. But how fast is Cedric Johnson coming off that edge? How fast is Robinson?
I think, I was really impressed with Robinson last year. I'm really glad he returned for this season because he is just a big, fast fella, 6'6", 265, I think. Cedric Johnson, we got to visit with him at SEC Media Days. Really, really love him. Sam Williams kind of took him under his wing, and it really, I think, seems so much more real to him. I got to ask him, what is it like? Last year you were playing with this guy, and now he is playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And, he said it's just really motivating to know that if he keeps his head down and works hard, good things like that could happen to him. So I'm looking for a lot from Cedric this season.
Now, I love talking defense with you again. Chris, it's going to just be a little bit different feel this year. I like everything that's going on. I love listening to you talk about the depth of the defensive front because that's always kind of been a big issue with Ole Miss football. But, man, last year, one of their biggest strengths was their linebackers. I know Troy Brown is a senior. I know that Prince is also a senior. They got Austin Keys, who's a sophomore. But it's not like we've seen a lot of these guys come out there and play a ton of football together. How big are these guys going to be, especially, of course, Brown and Keys?
Yeah, I think Troy Brown, of course, he's a transfer, and I think they look for really big things from him this season. He's got nice length at linebacker. He's fast. Heard nothing but good things from him about him this fall. Same with Austin, another 6'2", 245 sophomore. I think that you're right. They've got really big shoes to fill. Speaking of, Chance Campbell and Mark Robinson both made their respective NFL 53-man rosters. Campbell with the Titans and Robinson with the Steelers. So that was so exciting to get to see that those guys made the 53-man roster. I mean, just because you're drafted doesn't necessarily mean you'll make that. So that was kudos to them. But yeah, I mean, I think that with the linebackers, they've also got Kari Coleman and Ashante Sistrunk. I think we're going to see a lot from Sistrunk too. I've been really impressed with him in fall camp. So I think that from what I've gathered, I mean, with Partridge, I think the defense is going to be more aggressive. They're focusing on really flying around to the ball, focused on making sure you can play. The more you know what you're supposed to do, the quicker you can play. And I think they've really been focused on that a lot also.
Hey, Evie, it's Jay Morgan. I am really interested in another USC transfer, being Michael Trigg.
Oh, you're going to the tight end?
I'm going to the tight end. Casey Kelly, when I watched the spring game, I was really impressed with Casey Kelly, not only on the field, but his leadership. There's one play where he literally runs in from off the field to make sure everyone's lined up correctly. And I heard reports, I think, or maybe it was just rumors, that a couple weeks ago, Casey Kelly was getting first-team reps in some of the practices. Michael Trigg is obviously listed first on the depth chart. What can you tell me about that tight end battle? Could we see both of them? And speak to what you've seen from Casey Kelly and what kind of person he is.
Well, actually, that's another one that's an or.
Oh, it's
Casey
an or.
Kelly Casey's listed first, but it does say Casey Kelly or Michael Trigg. So, it's kind of a toss-up there. But I'm really glad you bring up Casey because Michael is, there's no doubt, he is incredibly talented. You just watch some of the plays he makes and you just think, good grief, But Casey Kelly, I've been a big Casey Kelly fan. Of course, he's the younger brother of Chad Kelly, former Ole Miss quarterback. But Casey, he played, I'll never forget, he came up really big in that Outback Bowl and was not a scholarship player. He didn't get a scholarship until the end of this last season. So, I have a soft place in my heart for the guys who go out there and work really hard and do it and don't have the scholarship or the accolades maybe that other people have. But both of them have done really, really well. You're right. Casey, I think, has a lot of leadership. He's a junior. He's been around a while. I think we're going to see both of them, and I think that's probably why they have an or on the depth chart. I think we're going to see a lot from both of them this season.
Before I jump back over the defense, I wanted to, since he hit on the tight ends. I mean, it sounds like you got two phenomenal tight ends that can absolutely play. Everybody knows the wide receivers. Dennis Jackson's a baller. Jonathan Mingo. Heck, I think Malik Heath.
Malik Heath.
Yeah.
He's listed. Yeah, I think Malik. I think we're going to see a lot from Malik. He's primed. I think we're going to see a lot of Malik Heath. Somebody asked me who was recently who I was really interested to see play and who might be kind of a breakout player. And I think Malik, he made a comment. I think we got to talk to him last week, and he just basically said, he loves Kiffin's offense. He's a transfer from Mississippi State. Didn't, nothing negative towards Mississippi State at all. He just felt like he will, fit into Kiffin's offense better. And so I'm really excited to see him. He looked really good.
My goodness. It feels like, from Jalen Knox, Jordan Watkins, Jonathan Mingo, Dennis Jackson, Dayton Wade, Malik Heath. Is it wide receiver you right now with Lane Kiffin?
Man, I think it is. You think about, I know it was really huge getting, Malik as a transfer and then Jordan Watkins from Louisville. He's an excellent receiver. And Jalen Robinson, the UCF transfer, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing him. And I think that, kind of like, I mean, to me, if I'm a quarterback or I'm a receiver, or actually if I'm a running back, I would just kill to play in a Lane Kiffin offense. You know, it's exciting. You know, you're going to get the ball a lot. I mean, prolific offense, a lot of scoring. So, yeah, I absolutely think you could make a case for that.
And it seems like there's going to be a lot of balls that need to be fed. And again, Matt Corral, he might be gone, but I think this offense is still going to be, it's going to, I think the quarterback situation's in fine hands with Luke and Jackson Dart.
Oh.
But by the way, one of the coolest things I've ever seen when Luke Altmaier came to the press conference and he was wearing a Rocky shirt.
Rocky shirt, yes, I loved that. I actually, I noticed that, and I thought that was cool. And, you know, both those kids are cool kids. I do want to say, so we've got Jackson. He's there's a lot of talk about, okay, what happens if, to whichever one doesn't win the starting job? You know, do they leave? What do they do? And, Dart was a transfer. So he's used his one-time transfer. There are no more, can you transfer if you're him without having to sit out a year? But I also want to mention Luke, and this doesn't get talked about much at all, but Luke last season when, he came in and played in the Sugar Bowl when Matt Corral got hurt, that burned his red shirt. That was his 5th game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that kid was willing to come in for his team. I mean, we could have put Plumlee in. I mean, we had other options we could have used at quarterback to keep him from burning that red shirt, but he said, no, I want to play and help my team. So he burned his red shirt, and some folks have asked, well, yeah, but don't they get an extra COVID year? Well, he doesn't. He came in, he wasn't there yet when they got the COVID. I mean, last year was his freshman year, and the COVID year was 2020, so he does not have an extra year. So he, in effect, could have used that as a redshirt season. So I really give a lot of credit to him. I think he's a quiet leader. And I just don't think that a lot of people realize, what he potentially gave up by coming in, to help his team against Baylor.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. Yeah, they could have been in John Ross. I mean, by the way, are Ole Miss fans going to be paying attention to UCF this year?
I think they will. A lot of fans are just so crazy about John Rice and wish him the absolute very best. And, goodness, he's an electric player, and it's going to be fun to watch and see how Gus Malzahn uses him there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things work out, but I know I'll be rooting for him. Great kid. It's kind of crazy to think about how Matt Corral and him started together, and John won the job, and now he's at Central Florida. Luke, burning his red shirt. People that play Ole Miss football absolutely love Ole Miss football. Now, I just wanted to say, is Zach Evans, though, is this an easy thing? Is he going to be he's going to be the beast in the backfield, right?
Oh, he's going to be the beast. And it is interesting because he does not have an or by his name. It's Zach Evans is the starting running back. And then Ulysses Bentley or Quinshon Judkins are listed at backup. But it was funny. We got to interview him this week. And, a reporter asked him, okay, so there's all these really good running backs. How many carries do you expect to get or do you want to get? He said 30. He'd like to get 30 a game.
Nice.
And then he kind of laughed, but he said, 20, 25. But he knows that there are, a lot of good running backs. But, oh, my gosh. He also commented, I thought it was funny, that he's going to be running angry. So like a beast out there. So I think it's going to be fun. I think a lot of the national media has already, he's listed in some of the preseason award watch lists and such. So I think Zach Evans is going to have just a breakout, phenomenal year this year.
I think you're probably right, and he does. I mean, if he's running angry, even more angry than he was last year, I'm excited to see that. But we are talking about with Ole Miss Evie. She is the founder, the publisher of The Rebel Walk. Go at The Rebel Walk to follow her. Just go online to therebelwalk.com. I did want to jump back on defense because Chance Campbell everybody loved him. He was almost folklore hero. He's an awesome person, an awesome football player. But one of the most underrated units, I think, in the country was that secondary. You had cornerbacks and free safeties and nickelbacks and strong safeties. They weren't afraid to light people up. They defended the run. They defended the pass. They flew around with their hair on fire. This year, how good is that defensive back unit going to be?
Man, I think you really hit the nail on the head with them. They are solid. I mean, I think that you've got, a couple of really neat stories. DeAndre Prince is the starting cornerback. He was at Ole Miss, left for a year, had to go JUCO, came back, and is just really focused and doing some great things. AJ Finley, I absolutely am crazy about AJ Finley. The Rebel Walk has an NIL with AJ.
Nice.
Yeah, he has had, I think, like 21 career starts, and he's played in, I want to say 35 games he's played over his career. So he is experienced. He is the vocal leader of the secondary. He helps get the defense lined up. Otis Reese. I mean, my gosh, Otis Reese is back. He's phenomenal. Miles Battle, the cornerback. So then they brought in Tysheem Johnson, a transfer, and Ladarius Tennyson, a transfer, and they're playing defensive back. But I mean, this is the most depth I can remember that unit having also. So I just, I'm really excited to see them play. People talk about how can your defense be as good if you lost Mark Robinson and you lost Chance Campbell and Sam Williams and Springer. But I just think, again, I think that Kiffin and his staff, as they say, they attacked the transfer portal, and they did, and they filled those holes. And I think they're going to be as good, if not better, than last season.
Oh, I cannot wait for Saturday. And I got to ask you now, because it's going to be my first one ever watching my baby girl cheer. So when they do the Walk of Champions, the cheerleaders will be out there. Mm-hmm. What time do I need to make sure that I'm down there in the Grove?
That's a really good question. They'll send us something, and I'll send you when they tell us. They'll tell us what time they'll be at the walk, and I'll message you and tell you. But if I were you, get out there and just enjoy the Grove. I mean, kick off at 3. Get there that morning. People will be set up, having a great time. I've got a wonderful friend who's got a fantastic tailgate that was featured in the New York Times. My friend Norma McCullough, she and her friends have a wonderful tailgate. I will hook you up with them, and they will be so glad to have you. And I'm just so excited. And I mean, my gosh, your baby girl's first game to cheer. How exciting is that?
Oh, I can't even tell you, Evie. I'm literally, just thinking about it, I get so excited. I'm like really happy that I'm now part of like the Rebel family. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty. My oldest, right. Graduated. Now my youngest is cheering. So I can't wait to see you this Saturday. And don't forget the hookup, dear, okay?
Oh, I won't. As soon as we hang up, I'm going to connect you with Norma, and you will just absolutely love that, and they will be so excited to have you.
Well, Evie, do me a favor. Be blessed. I can't wait to see this weekend. And don't forget, all y'all out there, you're going to hear from her every single Thursday right here starting at noon, all football long. And don't forget, go to therebelwalk.com. Follow Evie at Ole Miss Evie and the Rebel Walk at the Rebel Walk. Be blessed, my dear, and thank you for your time.
You too. Happy birthday. Have a great day.
That's my girl, Evie Van Pelt. Got to remind you of one thing. When life hands you lemons, make a lemon drop. If you're going to go tailgate, just make a cocktail. But what do you make it with? Tito's handmade vodka. It is the best vodka in the world. It's the best priced vodka in the world. And always remember, it's crafted and distilled right here in the United States, down in Austin, Texas. And it's 100% gluten-free. Back in 2 shakes with some hardwood. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing, and they've only been around for 5 years. Choose from hundreds of choices of wood, tile, vinyl, and carpet. Timmy, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood, tile, vinyl, and carpets. Jenkins meets all your needs from renovations to home building to installation. Enjoy buying excellent quality products at awesome prices. They're all about customer service at Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando. Call 662-469-9350. Looking for a cigar lounge to call your own? One that offers a laid-back environment with a full bar, comfortable seats to kick back in and enjoy a beer or a cocktail, and a cigar? Then G-Spot, Memphis's premier cigar lounge, is just for you. Offered a wide selection of cigars, and it's open 7 days a week, starting at 12 noon for your smoking pleasure. G-Spot Cigar Lounge is now offering a limited number of memberships that provide a locker and a humidor credit. For more information, call the G-Spot Cigar Lounge, 901-801-4276.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. He's hanging out with me. And man, we've had such a busy show. I'm so fired up again. It's 901 day. It is my birthday. We got football all day long, all day strong, wall-to-wall baseball. And we got a party going on downtown.
It's wall-to-wall.
It's wall-to-wall. We got a little MJG partying. We got food trucks. We got Dustin Starr, who's going to be down there wrestling. We got juking and jiving. We got all kinds of people getting down, getting funky in the Mid-South. Now, I'm fired up about all these wonderful things. But I did want to say something, Jay, real quick. And I just wanted to say something. Sadly, I had to go to a funeral. Did I tell you that,
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, it's okay, though, because my buddy Jimmy Hawkins, and he played basketball for the University of Memphis back in the day. And I got to talk with a bunch of his friends. I talked with George Kirk, who played at Memphis State back then from 60 to 64, Larry Garber. Just got to talk to a lot of great people that were telling me about Memphis State and talking about Jimmy. And again, Jimmy's never met somebody that he didn't make a friend. Everybody up at the Half Shell loves him. You got Slap, you got Freddie, you got all the Mike, you got Cleve, all these people who just loved him. I became a good friend with him. I love Jimmy Hawkins so much. But listening to him to talk about his life was amazing. Again, after he played basketball for the University of Memphis, my man joined the Air Force, where he served 4 years during the Vietnam War, including 6 months in Guam. Then he went and worked at WREG in sales for 31 years. And just having those life experiences and listening to this man and just seeing how friendly he was, I just wanted to say rest in peace, Jimmy Hawkins, to all the people out there who loved him, to all the people up at the Half Shell who still love him and miss him. He was just such a good guy. And I heard great stories again yesterday, like George Kirk, one of his buddies, who helped recruit him when he was at Memphis State, talked about how, I didn't know this, he used to do the color for Memphis State basketball for Channel 5 back in the day. Well, then Morgan Keegan came calling, and he smartly went and took a nice job at Morgan Keegan and did extremely well. But him and Big Jack Eaton were the first people who did Memphis State basketball. Of course, Big Jack, y'all know him. And, of course, George Kirk did the color. And then, George Lapidus. He was great friends with George Lapidus. I wouldn't be on the air if it wasn't for George Lapidus. So, again, what a wonderful life Jimmy Hawkins had. He touched so many people, and he'll always be remembered as an amazing basketball player at Memphis State and just a better person. And by the way, back then, they didn't have the NCAA tournament. It was all about the NIT. So just listening to these gentlemen with all these wonderful stories, again, just be kind to people, and you never know who you might end up talking to or hanging out with. And again, to all my friends up at the Half Shell, shout out. By the way, did you know also he was part of like the Memphis Barbecue Fest for like 41 years? I didn't even know it was that old. But rest in peace, Jimmy Hawkins. It is time to get into a little bit of Hardwood. But before we do, I wanted to tell you, Jimmy loved a little bit of drinking. You know what I'm saying? That's how we became such good friends. If you love a little cocktail here and there, Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine. Head on over there. They're at 146 Highway, 72 Suite 102. It's next to Captain John's Barbecue. They're open 7 days a week, including on Sunday from 10 to 7. You got football on the night. You got a party going on downtown. We got baseball. It's the months. Can't wait till October gets here for baseball, but September's in full swing. If you want to go get some tequila, maybe some Tito's, or if you love a good single malt, they have over 70 different single malts over at Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine. They have bourbon from over 200 in different countries around the world. It's just not Kentucky and Tennessee bourbon and whiskey, baby. They got all kinds of bourbons. And if you're a wine enthusiast, there's not a vineyard they have not found a bottle of wine from. They got it all. Again, Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine, 146 Highway, 72 Suite 102, next to Captain John's Barbecue. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Jay Morgan. So, you want to lead things off with your weird
John,
story?
I have not just one, not two. I'm like LeBron James when he first went to Miami with all the stories I have today. Not one, not two, not three, not four. John, my first one is that a Cristiano Ronaldo statue, John, in his home.
The one with his big old, that's very uncomfortable to look at because it made his unit way too big.
Got a big old penis on him, John. Well, the penis on that statue, John, is becoming worn out and is going to need to be replaced.
What?
Because too many tourists are grabbing it when they go visit.
Are you being serious?
I swear. How about that?
Holy cow.
John, imagine. I mean, see, it's like all the pictures they show here are like of woman backing that thing up onto his genital area, or like some are just people with a handful of statue crotch in their hand, John. How would you pose with the statue?
I would not pose with the statue. I'm not a soccer fan or a European football fan.
I would get a handful of that crotch.
I know you would, but you're still questioning.
Yeah,
like out of the letters, you're still the Q, right?
John, when I'm sitting next to that statue, I'm questioning a little bit less, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, you kill me, and I absolutely love you, brother.
Oh man,
what am I gonna do with you?
And honestly, John, the pictures of the thing now, because it's getting so worn out. So you know how like when a statue gets worn out, if it's like a bronze statue, it'll like start to be a little bit discolored where it's being worn out at. So what you have now is this statue that's all one color, except for the penis is a little bit lighter version of that color. It's a great look. I would like to start the movement for them not to replace the statue. Leave it how it is, and let's see how worn out we can get that penis.
I think you're hilarious because I think I know your number one favorite word in the entire world.
What's that, John?
It's not supercalifragilistic. What is it?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's not it. In fact, it rhymes with Dennis.
Penis.
Or they don't necessarily rhyme, do they? But
no, they don't. But it's close enough, John. I have another story.
What rhymes with that?
Weenus.
But that's not a real word.
Yes, it is. You know what your weenus is? It's the little skin on your elbow. When you like extend your elbow out, it's the little skin right here on your elbow.
Oh my gosh! You know what I've always called that?
What?
I've called that the start of. Do you know what double the elbow, triple the bat wings are?
No.
Have you ever seen a woman like wave at you, like, "Hey, try to get your attention," and all of a sudden you're afraid if she keeps waving hard enough that she's gonna fly off because she's got huge bat wings?
Wow, that's what
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know a bat
that's
wing now.
I always call that the start of the bat wing. And ladies, do me a favor, and I'm not trying to be rude. Again, this is not me being mean.
No.
I'm just saying bat wings are real.
They
Don't
are
be
real.
flapping those suckers
Especially
too
on
hard in
bats.
public. You know what I'm saying? Because the only thing it's going to do is probably help you learn. Like, you'll either fly away or your wings are going to be too small to carry you off. And that's even a worse feeling.
Well, that would be the first person to ever fly, though. But now, John, you have a word for it. It's the weenus. How about that?
I can now say, and then they won't even know what I'm talking about.
And
Now,
also, word that rhymes with it, Venus, the planet. How about that?
oh, good job, Venus. I was forgetting about that one. But, hey, is the Earth flat or do we live in are we actually traveling in the, universe and expanding? Or is the Earth flat?
John, do you believe in parallel universes?
Sure, I did DMT, man. I lived 5 years in a parallel universe.
I also believe in parallel universes, so we're on the same path there.
Dude.
Yeah, and also, there's more than just 3 dimensions. There's more than 4 dimensions.
Well, I was going to say, we see in a 3-dimensional world, right?
I believe that there are 11 proven dimensions. Science, 11 proven dimensions.
Did you take
How about that?
ayahuasca
No,
or do
John,
mushrooms?
I swear. No, this is according to physics, you can prove up to 11 dimensions. I know you can prove the 4th dimension because of the double slit experiment where light behaves like particles but also moves as a wave. However, science would suggest that it cannot exist in both forms. However, it does. That's proof, John. 4th dimension. And
I need to get
11
you
proven.
and you and Aaron Rodgers need to do a podcast.
Down. I'm not going to do the show on Percocet, though.
On the what?
Because he said on Joe Rogan that he played a game on Percocet and immediately regretted it. And so I said, I'm not going to do the show on Percocet.
I would tell you one thing. I don't like those pills because when I broke my hand, they gave me some of them. They made me itch. I think I might be allergic.
I'm allergic
I
to
was
penicillin.
just oh, man, so you can't get healthy if you get sick, huh?
You mean if I get the HIV?
If you get the HIV, you're screwed, brother.
Yeah.
Or the live.
No.
Or the vid.
Live coming to Boston.
That's right. By the way, did you know about Timmy Trumpet?
Yeah, oh, John, did you see? This was awesome.
He's been waiting all week long.
All week, John. He's been sitting there waiting, and it was awesome. This song came out in 2017, John. There was an article about it in the...
It's called Narco.
Narco. It was in New York Newsday, John. His song came out in 2017. It's literally the first song that's ever been popular for him in America. He's been popular in Australia as a DJ for a while. Hasn't been able to break into America. Thanks to Edwin Diaz and this song, John. He performed at the Mets game last night. It's the biggest story in sports, minus Serena. Biggest story in sports, John.
And I don't know if you know this. Mets got the dub last night,
Got the dub with Edwin on the mound. That's
29th
so cool.
save of the season for Mr. Diaz.
I don't think we described what Timmy did, though. He played the song live.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, not just
crazy.
his walkout. He was out there trumpeting it up. They call him Timmy Trumpets.
And Mr. Met and Mrs. Met were behind him. And then when they played the song, the rest of it, he rode his trumpet like a horse.
He did. By the way, did that girl show up who stuck a trumpet up her keister?
Miss Met?
No, you remember the girl from American Pie?
American Pie. Allison
What did
Hannigan.
she do when she went to band camp?
Allison Hannigan. Well, that's a character, though. It's not really her.
Well, when she went to band camp, what did she do with her trumpet?
I believe it was a trombone, though, wasn't it?
No, it was a trumpet.
It was a trumpet?
Yes.
She put it in
the sun, with the area the sun don't shine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just leave it at that, buddy.
I can say the scientific word if you like, John. I have another story for you.
Okay, one more.
This one is a little less. It's just crazy. John, are you familiar with World War II?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, well, Germany declared war on the world.
Pretty much. Well, they invaded Poland, and then it just escalated from there.
And where did they invade first, John?
Poland. I just told you.
Poland is demanding, the Polish government is demanding $1.3 trillion in reparations from Germany.
Well, that's kind of hard probably for Germany to pay right now since they did open up that pipeline with Russia. Now they can't get their oil from Russia. And they closed all their nuclear. They got rid of all their nuclear power. The only clean energy out there. Let me tell you something. Tell Germany to shut up.
Well, that Poland asking for $1.3 trillion in reparations kind of sounds to me, John, like a class action lawsuit.
Well, you know what? If Johnny Cochran was here, he'd be defending Poland right now. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
What happened at Camp Lejeune, John? That's what I was going to.
Actually, I saw that commercial.
What? I see it. Hey, how could you not see it? It's literally everywhere. We're playing ads for what happened at Camp Lejeune, John.
We
You're on
are?
the radio. And it just leads me, what happened at Camp Lejeune? How about that?
Some bad stuff. But you know what else happens? Football, man. It's here. It's September 1st. Did you know that? Now, we got football on tonight, but did you know the NFL season literally is right around the corner? If you want to kick week 1 off, you need to do it with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Why? Because you get started and you can get $150 in free bets. It's guaranteed. All you have to do is place your first bet with a $5 bet. Bing, bang, boom. You're going to get some cash. The only way you're going to get that $150 free bet is, number one, go to FanDuel, but you must use the promo code HAPPY to get in on the action. Then you can turn game day into payday all season long. I've been talking about futures bets. One of my favorite is Lamar Jackson is still betting on himself. We talked about it. Russell Wilson just got $165 million guaranteed from the Denver Broncos. Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract with the Browns. Lamar Jackson wants some money, and if he doesn't get paid, that means he's going to bet on himself. And if he bets on himself, well, you better watch out, because that means Lamar Jackson is coming out this season to take names, to kick tail and take names. His odds to win the MVP, 20-1. 20-1. You get $150 in free bets and you put it on 20-1 Lamar Jackson. I think you're going to be loving me later. But I will say, play your way and bet on more than just the final score. Like, literally, play how you want to, because FanDuel, they'll let you wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches to futures bets to in-game action. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday with the same game parlay. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use that promo code HAPPY. Bing, bang, boom. Life is going to be beautiful. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And always remember, you must be 21 and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that do expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply, brother. So if you want to see the terms, go to sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. I love gambling on sports with FanDuel, and even more, I would love to get my voice back. We'll see if it comes back on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop, here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
Tired of living with chronic joint pain from arthritis or injury? Stop with the steroids and pain meds and don't have surgery until you check out regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
These therapies can help the body have long-term relief of your pain.
Meet Dr. Justin Garzone, Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
We use your body's own healing properties, highly concentrate them, and then use that to restore and repair the damaged tissues in your joints.
This is a cutting-edge natural solution from local medical professionals.
We have a team of medical assistants, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and physicians that are trained specifically just to do regenerative medicine.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from personal experience. Before joining the QC Kinetics team, he was an actual patient.
I am now pain-free.
You too can get lasting relief from joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios, grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers, everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything! A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. It is 9:01 day in the Mid-South, so there's a lot going on downtown starting at 5 o'clock. You go down there and you can watch bands, you can watch wrestling, you can eat some amazing food, you can park free in the parking garage right there at FedEx Forum. Man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a birthday bash down at the Forum today. Dustin Starr will be down there, all kinds of amazing people. But we do also have big football on tonight. I've told you in the first segment a lot of my favorite bets, right, Jay?
You have, John.
Were you listening?
Always.
Oh, that's my dog. I love the Vols tonight. Minus 23.5 in the first half. I love Purdue at home catching 3.5. Penn State is going down. But I also do have to say, I hope you win a lot of money. I hope I win a lot of money. But everybody who's been sending me birthday wishes, from listener Charlie to Sam, happy birthday, John. May the good Lord bless you with many more. That's John Garcia. I don't know if it's Jerry Garcia. John's hit me up. So many people have said happy birthday, and I just want to say thank you. And if you're a small business owner, I want to thank you by saving you some money. Call my buddy Blake Jones at 662-416-5262. That's 662-416-5262. Call Blake Jones today. Start saving money tomorrow. How's he going to help out your business? He's going to eliminate credit card processing fees. He's your local Mid-South Advanced Merchant Services representative, and he's going to help your bottom line grow. Remember, it's risk-free, absolutely no cost to you. You just got to pick up the phone and call 662-416-5216. 5216. Call Blake Jones today. Start saving money tomorrow. That is my time, people. Make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.
There's a certain group of heroes that don't get nearly enough